His worship at the back, then his worship here. Then I think we'll have to close.
The police officers that were here yesterday came with lots of material for us to look at and compare. Do you have some flaka and vitamin, cannabis? And finally, Doctor, I want to invite every member to be very attentive to the drug scourge that is hitting our people. I know a couple of families, some of them are family friends that access all types of drugs. The drugs like ice, I don't know if you guys have heard about them. Some I have heard from the doctor. The list is so long. Doctor, where do these things come from? Thank you very much.
Because that's why I was telling about safety studies when they're being done on chemicals and drugs. They're being tested on alternative animals, which are not humans. So what is the difference is that you have different metabolic pathways, whether it's a cat, whether it's a human, whether it's a mouse, whether it's a dog. When we get exposed to the same food, depending on the animal species, we could end up with different breakdown products because we have differences. Whilst in an albino dog, these are very rare because our genetics is different. So you find that humans are non 70 kilogram mice, that what kills a cat would kill a human. But what normally we do in safety studies is that we always assume that the humans are more sensitive than alternative animals. If a dog would die at 7 milligrams of poison, then we divide this by 1,000 to come to the dose that will affect a human. That's what we call allometric scaling, where we scale down. What a hyena will not die from, a human being will die from. So one of the reasons you have is that you have different breakdown products. I give you an example. Many people who go to the gym, and actually I think it has also started in bars, they are given alcohol when they buy alcohol, they are also given GHB. So GHB is used for bodybuilding, muscle building. Gone are the days when people were starting to export as studies from the Middle East. People would go to the gym, get GHB, build their muscles, and then they are seen to be able-bodied, and then they were given visas to go and work. When this person goes to the Middle East, where they cannot access GHB, all of a sudden they lose weight. Their muscles start thinning. They are not the able-bodied people they used to be. So, but the problem is like, if someone has been exposed to GHB, you cannot see it in their blood. You can only see the breakdown products because it's broken down very fast. I think I'll now add it in tandem with the cassava. So in 2022, we had Andarua, where there was more than 10 people died from cassava poisoning. So I think in the East African countries, Uganda and Congo and South Sudan are the biggest growers of cassava. So cassava, certain species of cassava, I don't know where anyone comes from, Kitgum, around that area. So cassava contains what we call cyanogenic glycosides. These cyanogenic glycosides are poisonous. So what happens is if you take cassava, normally the standard procedure for processing cassava, you get the cassava from the garden, you dip it in water for 3 days, and thereafter you can prepare it for a meal. The reason of dipping it in water is for those glycosides to get from the cassava and go into the water. It is standard practice. There are scientific publications about this. If you do, they have evaluated the different pre-processing methods for cassava. So the standard, which is more effective, is get the cassava, dip it in water for 3 days, 2 days, and then you can now prepare it. If you do not hydrolyze these glycosides, then they remain. When they remain in the food, they generate hydrogen cyanide. Hydrogen cyanide is a very potent poison. That's why you've seen. We have had cases from Diopolo and then Kitgum and Arua, where they died from cassava poison. So we worked on this case, but also worked on it with our counterparts from Switzerland, a company called Kamak, and we were able to arrive at the same finding that it contains cyanogenic glycosides. So cassava poisoning is known. There was also a case where one of the soldiers shot a minister, I think somewhere in Chanja. So when we analyzed this sample, we found out that this soldier had just been returning from Congo. So in Congo they have a plant which the soldier, for some reason, it is eaten by a soldier because it keeps them awake, it keeps them sober, it gives them energy. But when you are exposed to this plant, you develop suicidal tendencies. So I think when our soldiers go there, they come back with this plant, and being a normal plant, you know, the trade between Congo and Uganda is a porous border. So anything, and if at the border point nobody can detect this, then most likely someone comes and puts it here. So you find that these are discoveries that you really just arrive at in a single go. And it's a one-off. It's not that it's seen many times. Because such occurrences do not occur several times, it's a one-off. That's why many things are circulating, but because there has not been crime tagged to them, you may think they're non-existent in society. And where the drugs come from, Uganda, I think I said it is a transit route for many drugs. That's why I talked about metabolite profiling. So Uganda being a transit route, there could be even some clandestine labs. Those labs have very many graduates from chemistry, from Ngeri, there or any other university. They're able to synthesize these substances and then export them and then also distribute them within communities. Yes.
I want to take some questions. Let me take our worship there and the other so that you
Is
respond.
someone writing the questions?
You are not writing them?
No.
Okay, if you are not, let's first think.